Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday endorsed Raila Odinga for the presidency in 2022. What next for Raila Odinga after that endorsement? That's the question. Because for those who've been following this channel, I've always insisted that President Uhuru Kenyatta needed to do two things. The first thing he needed to do was to take Raila Odinga to the larger Mount Kenya region and introduce him and campaign for him. That has never happened. And yesterday I explained that the trip by the president and Raila Odinga in Nakuru was probably to test the ground and start introducing Raila Odinga to the Kikuyu nation. Because Nakuru is predominantly Kikuyu. So that's number one. Number two, I've also said that President Uhuru Kenyatta needed to endorse Raila Odinga publicly. Because Raila Odinga supporters are tired. They've done everything for Raila Odinga to become the president. And there's always this notion that probably the president is playing Raila Odinga. And therefore, public endorsement was the only way to excite the NASA or Raila Odinga's support base. That's what the president did yesterday, but not publicly, but indirectly. But what should Raila Odinga do after that endorsement? In my view, Raila Odinga should do the following. But by the way, before you do that, if you're watching this channel for the first time, if you're watching this particular video for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Because what we do on this channel is that we analyze politics in a way you can't find any other place. So the best thing is to click the subscribe button. And to the subscribers, I want to continue to thank you guys for your continued support. Without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. I'm actually recording this video from the village. This is my Simba. This is my Simba. Okay. What next for Raila Odinga? Raila Odinga was in Awendo, Migori County today. But what next for him? On the 9th, or is it 10th, Raila Odinga will actually announce to the country whether he's going to run for the presidency or not. On 7th, Raila Odinga will raise a dinner, 1 million plate dinner, to help fund Raila Odinga's campaign. That alone confirms that Raila Odinga will be running. But what next after this endorsement? In my view, Raila Odinga should do the following. Number one, the first thing he must do is to figure out how he's going to fight what is called Project Tag. You know, Uhuru Kenyatta was a project in 2002. Kenyans, in their large numbers, rejected Project Uhuru Kenyatta. Why? Because Uhuru Kenyatta did not fight the TAG project. The NAC, by that time, actually branded Uhuru Kenyatta a project. It was understandable. Uhuru Kenyatta was just brought from nowhere, made Kenya Tourism Board chairman. Before we knew, Uhuru Kenyatta was nominated to parliament, made a minister. Uhuru Kenyatta was made the vice chairman of KANU, the vice chairman of KANU, through a very elaborate and strategic process. And it was easy to brand Uhuru Kenyatta a project. The fact that President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is a sitting president, is endorsing Raila Odinga for the presidency means it's going to be possible for the opponents to brand him a project. I remember the other day, who is this? The ANC party leader, Musalia Mudavadi, claiming that Kenyan voters will choose their leader, not the state, and that Kenyans should reject a project. William Ruto is currently busy projecting himself as the hustler's candidate, not a project. So Raila Odinga and his team must figure out how they are going to fight that tag. President Uhuru Kenyatta was actually a project in 2013. He was the deep state project because the fact that Raila Odinga was the enemy, Uhuru Kenyatta was the project. But his team was able to project him as Uhuru Kenyatta, as someone who wanted to win the presidency without the support of the system. The truth of the matter is that Uhuru Kenyatta was the state project, but he managed to fight that tag because of the lessons he learned in 2002. So Raila Odinga and his team must start preparing how they are going to brand Raila Odinga not as a project, because Raila Odinga has contested for the presidency almost 4 times. So how do you brand such a person a project? But it will be easier for the opponent, if the opponents are serious, to brand him a project. So the first thing he must do is to figure out how he's going to fight that. Number 2, Raila Odinga must now move with speed, very fast, and mobilize his support base. When I talk of support base, it means where he won overwhelmingly. That is Kakamega, Vihiga, Bungoma. Raila Odinga must go to Coast. He must go to Busia. He must go to Northeastern. He must go to Nairobi. Consolidate his support. So basically, if there are Raila Odinga supporters who didn't believe that Raila Odinga was going to make it in 2022, this is the time for Raila Odinga to go to those people, explain to them the opportunities which are now there. Because previously, they had the votes, they had everything, but he didn't have that opportunity and the support of the state. So Raila Odinga must now move very fast, very, very fast to his support base and mobilize them. Tell them this is the final lap of the journey. So I want you all. He must do that. If he won't do that, he's going to be surprised. The third thing he must do is that Raila Odinga must start pushing for a joint campaign with President Uhuru Kenyatta. You see, the fact that the president is going to endorse Raila Odinga, or has endorsed Raila Odinga, but is not campaigning for him, there are certain people who will say Uhuru has not really endorsed Raila. And you see, by Uhuru Kenyatta appearing publicly with Raila Odinga's support base will be assured. So they'll go register as voters. Of course, the registration, I think, is ending in February. They can now see the need of getting out to vote. And that joint campaign mean that Raila Odinga will also gauge the influence, or what I explained in one of my videos earlier, the Uhuru Kenyatta and the Kikuyu factor. So he must go with Uhuru Kenyatta, like he did in Nakuru yesterday. When Uhuru will be going to Central, he will go with him. As a matter of fact, from what I gauged from Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday, is that he's now willing and ready to start going to those places with Raila Odinga. The fourth thing which he must do, and this is also important, is that the fact that the president has endorsed him means that his party can attract serious aspirants. I'm talking of ODM. The other side, Jubilee, as a political party, might not attract serious aspirants. There are people in Jubilee who do want to contest, like for example in Nairobi, on ODM ticket. How will Raila Odinga manage that? So the fact is, he must start coming up with a strategy on how they are going to conduct a free, fair, and credible nominations. As a matter of fact, it's not possible for any political party in this country to conduct a free and fair party nominations. But at least those process needs to appear or need to be seen to be free, fair, and credible. That's the only thing which Raila Odinga needs to do. Otherwise, if his party members will not be satisfied that Raila Odinga is willing to conduct a free and fair party nominations, I'm sorry for him. The current voter is very angry. The current voter know what they want. So if they want person A and you give them person B, you will be disappointed. And this will lead to voter apathy, in my view. Number 5, lastly, which is my last point, is that Raila Odinga must also start figuring out how he's going to win the support of the Central Kenya and the entire Mount Kenya region. He must now start focusing strategically in that region. What do I mean? For Raila Odinga to win the presidency, he needs at least 30% of the larger Mount Kenya region. That will help him in Nairobi, will help him in Mombasa, will help him in Nakuru. So he needs now to go and start focusing on how to win the support of the larger Mount Kenya region. Probably can do a SWOT analysis and understand why those people hate him, whether the hate is going down, of course it's going down, the right people to use, and the wrong people not to use. For example, I've not been seeing David Murade around Raila Odinga or President Uhuru Kenyatta in a very long time. What's really happening? Is it possible that Raila Odinga was advised to avoid people like David Murade? So, in my view, those are some of the things President Uhuru Kenyatta must do. Sorry, Raila Odinga must do after the public endorsement by President Uhuru Kenyatta. I don't know what you think. I don't know what you think. By the way, tomorrow I'll be in Nairobi. My friend Jalango will be having a fundraiser for his campaigns because I'm praying for him to be the next member of parliament for Langata. I know he's a guy who has come from very far. You know, he knows what he wants in life and is actually an inspiration to many people, including me. So I'll just be there to show my support for him, solidarity as a brother, and it is my hope. Langata is going to be very complex for me. Several friends of mine are actually running. There's Jaka Kimpa, there's Jalango, then there is Dan Okech Woodruff. Those are people who are known to me and very close to me. But for Jalango, I think it's special because he inspires a lot of people from how he began his journey up to now. One thing I know for sure is that anything Jalango points to, he always gets. So probably I'll do a video on why I strongly believe Felix Odiwuor Jalango is likely to be the next member of parliament for Langata. So if you have time, we can have coffee before the event or maybe after the event. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.